What up, soul family members? What's up? Guys, it's Shani with Healing Elements, and welcome. If you have never been here before, hello, and if you have, many blessings, of course, to you guys, and appreciation, first and foremost. I really, truly appreciate you guys, and I appreciate you guys tuning in. This may be a long video, so just a disclaimer, but for this video, I'm going to talk in depth about my thoughts on the twin flame concept, the twin flame phenomena. So this is my personal interpretation. I totally welcome comments or emails of any kind to give me your interpretation. It's, of course, all in the eyes of the perspective, right? The eyes of the observer. So this is just what I personally believe, to me, defines a twin flame. So guys, this is pulled from my journal that I wrote in May of 2019. Would you look at that? Not on purpose. It is 1:11. Had a long day, so I even thought that it was actually later. So in any case, what a blessing. And it's coming up to 1:11 minute on the counter. I love it. So many synchronicities as I filmed this in January of 2020. It is amazing. January 15th. Shout out to and respect to Martin Luther King. It's his birthday. And my sister Sandra, Capricorn. Back to the reading, guys. I will read very long excerpt that is taken from my journal, my personal little journal that I wrote in May 2018. And then also I'll ad-lib here and there. So guys, here we go. The debate definitely persists about the existence and or legitimacy of a twin flame union. Let's explore in depth the multiple commonalities that my friends, family members, and an endless number of my clients report to me to experience time and time again. They share with me their unique testimonies and often confusing feelings about the labyrinth of experiences that go into this entire ordeal. They then become stunned to find such specific validity in some scenarios I am able to relay back to them. Seems like this is something that the twins love. They, of course, feel and tell me at the moment, and then also will send me correspondence that lets me know that these, validities and these commonalities that I would, tell them and that they would inevitably find out because I would tell them about videos on YouTube, etc. They definitely would replay that whole, day that they heard that validation, like almost like an endless loop of a soundtrack, right? It is amazing how much you really feel the feels and you just go so deep and you begin to legitimately cherish a tiny piece of paper that he or she or that person that you are feeling this affinity toward touched once, right? It's crazy. It's undeniably ludicrous. Okay, guys, so twin flames are almost always elated, yet devastated, and then finally aggravated a bit to hear me divulge examples of other people's stories, particularly when I tell them of the commonality, which I will explain later in the video, about how it takes sometimes a long time for the twins to be together in the physical. It is often, as you probably have heard, if you have heard about twin flame concept before, it is very common for me to have heard or experienced the runner and chaser, running and chasing. So we'll get into that later. It's at that moment a particular look comes over the person that I am reading as it sinks in, the look of uncomfortably accepting that there is no escape from this compelling motion to love this person. There is no red pill or blue pill. There is no running away permanently in this lifetime of any kind that will rid them of this very powerful, spiritual, soul, invisible tattoo. It's real, guys. It's real. The digestion of self-realization starts afoot, still baffled that the twins are not in control of the intense feelings involved. They listened to me provide examples, validating the discussion points they had just shared with me, sitting there like eyes wide open like saucers, right? Having to swallow their skepticism down whole, re-evaluating their whole system of beliefs. It seems like, oh fuck, I was a skeptic and this is realer than real. These validations and these things that Shani's telling me before I even, explain the next symptom or the next commonality begins, right? It's crazy. So, at the same time as shocking the inquisitive, love struck twin, I enlighten and comfort them in a different sense. I am honest and descriptively give accounts of countless people of all walks of life who attest to these incredibly specific experiences and attest to the fact that it is divine and inevitably was an entire centrifuge of their spiritual awakening journey or their path to enlightenment, the way in which they got in touch with their inner self. Call it what you may. Strength in numbers, the human inclination to feel better when we experience either challenging or relating circumstances together, is natural. In fact, it somehow feels like a tiny taste, I've been told, of the natural high people talk about amongst themselves in a high school first dance. This is the sensation, cheesy as it is, that the twin gives them. They get excited and look forward immensely to discussions about twin flame stories, almost as if to say, like, tell me more, go on. I can't get enough. The high is apparent on the face of the person describing this twin flame love. Like, go on the, there's twin flame, I think it's Twin Flame Revolution is wonderful. They are two partners. They just are beautiful energies and explain their scenario and their experience with the twin flame. I love that. I just caught that recently, I think like 6 months ago, but it was amazing because, of course, me with my own observations, that was a neat validation for me. So check that out. So this incredible high, this absolute elation is described to be so euphoric that it honestly can bring on giddy sometimes or intoxicating demeanors, feeling like you're walking on air. That's a very common phrase that's used to describe head over heels, right, in love, that sensation. Love at first sight. People will say all kind of things, or just sit there and shake their head if they're a very, quiet person or someone who is just used to having control and power over their emotions, particularly air signs, I feel, and earth signs. So it is very hard for them to focus. They tell me at times as if it was their first puppy dog love affair, and it definitely baffles, the twin. They are baffled and continuously are baffled because of all of these very specific things and commonalities, common denominators that are experienced when, going through a twin flame union. You are almost, again, baffled or amazed or shocked, shock and awe when the synchronicities, just come where it almost seems like you were through the veil. This is almost magical. Like, it is alchemy because there is no way that a coincidence could ever, one in a, trillion, occur like that. So here we go. This is, guys, here is a partial list of circumstances, collectively that was reported to me and just came up notoriously and consistently when, I was channeling and just in the void trying to write down in my journal what I defined a twin flame to be. And yes, my personal opinion is I do think this is a concept. I believe that there are, any number of words that you can categorize this committed partnership and overwhelming, draw to this person. You can categorize it whatever you want, but if we just stick to, that's why I prefer, but namaste to anybody, stick to, the twin flame being what I'm going to go ahead and break down and describe, that's in my opinion, and then the soulmate, those that you have perhaps, lived with in previous lives and had, I believe, made a soul contract, so to speak, or, if you are in touch with that and that's what you believe, blessings to you. If you, have a karmic cycle to break basically with this other person and it is though you have also, soulmate is different but the same, of course, but different, of course, from twin flame. The soulmate is more of, you sense that you have been with this person for past lives. Same thing with twin flames, but the soulmate is more of a familiarity. It's become companionship, and it might not have been that way in the beginning. So there's differences, and I can describe the soulmate, in my opinion, in the next video, which is going to come out soon. So these are, the collectively reported, common denominators that goes into defining what a twin flame is. Number one is in divine time. In divine time. So divine timing has never played such a significant role in your life. Twin flames meet each other majorly right at the end of an existing relationship with an existing partner. Typically, this relationship has run its course. Again, it might be like the soulmate connection. Who knows? The cord inevitably needs to be cut, and it is often incredibly toxic in nature. And this twin flame energy is there and brings to light what perhaps this person, did not even know they were missing. So twin flames also seem to show up in each other's lives in the blink of an eye. I mean, instantaneously. At the exact same time, also, that they both are independently exploring and just getting into an awakening further of their spiritual awareness. So simultaneously, literally in divine time, these two seem to express to one another and acknowledge, they're going to give each other the acknowledgement of an increased desire and passion to expand on that spiritual awareness. And the twin flame union encourages this. That is a big sign. And here's minute 11:11. Beautiful. Thank you, Spirit. Oh my God. Seriously, thank you for all you guys that are like humble and take me with my goofy. I just said it the other day in a chat room. I cannot turn my goofy down. So that was amazing. Minute 11:11. Love that shit so much. Okay, guys. So back to the reading. I just love that positive, invigorating feeling and sensation. So we'll go back to this. Simultaneously, in divine time, the two seem to express to one another the acknowledgement of the increased desire and passion to expand on that spiritual awareness. When twin flames unite, it is usually at the beginning of an enlarged and very exploratory expansion of their higher consciousness, the collective consciousness. Right when a notable increase, like a vigorous increase in persistent yearning and calling for spiritual exploration it's almost always when you meet your twin flame. I would say, in my opinion, that is the most prevalent. Like, okay, most of these common denominators have at least 85% of the people have agreed with this. But this, I'm going to say literally, it's probably like 97% if the person is just sure, positive, and they've described to me and blah 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 about their twin flame. It is almost 9 times out of 10 again definitely a divine orchestration and divine sense of, like, it's almost like I saw the angels that come down with the horns and call. So when you meet your twin flame, this is definitely a big symbolic meaning in your personal and independent, your soul's life path and purpose. And this is all going to, make sense as it unfortunately, unfolds, and you reflect and reflect some more and unfolds and reflect. That's how the twin flame union goes. So number 2, the second common denominator, synchronicities. Like, this is a big one. Synchronicities. Okay. One sign from spirit after another completely bombards your daily and nightly routine, like on the real all the time. At times, you even find yourself trying to specifically go even a day out of an experimental phase without being mandated and bombarded by undeniable synchronicities and signs. These divinely orchestrated signs come in many forms. So I mean many forms. I always say you can get sign from spirit on anything. It is your heart and your intention and your mind, honestly, that is getting these messages. Of course, people who are in, a more skeptic arena, and I welcome that, or whatnot, it's all about, the power of persuasion, the power of mind to tell yourself that you can shift your way of thinking, your perspective, and it will change everything for you. So again, I do this and I channel spirit and I believe my own truth, but namaste to you. It just, no matter what it is, it's going to help you despite what you are. Even if you're a Hater Nation Club member, this beautiful twin flame union will help you to expand upon these kind of acknowledgments and experiences. Okay, guys, so again, these signs come in many forms, so accept them, guys. I've heard about all types, of course. Repetitively seeing the same set of numbers, as you guys may well, of course, know, is, I'm going to say, universally experienced and probably 100% with people who are going through, a journey in finding out about their higher self, that spiritual quest or spiritual awakening. They are, seeking and experiencing a form of synchronic divination, to be honest with you guys. It is definitely simple, if you want to put it that way, that, oh, okay, I'm just going to see the same set of numbers, and a psychologist is going to tell you that it's called blah, 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 that you're just seeing what you want to see within an image or whatnot, or looking for the signs. The thing is I encourage people to look for the signs. That's what we're supposed to do. When we seek, you shall find. Look for the signs, and they are not going to, steer you wrong. And of course, inevitably, one person can go through the same, steps and footpath of the other. I guarantee you that they're not going to pick up on the same signs. And of course, that is because what means something to you and what calls out to be a specific divine sign is personal, and you will notice it, of course, independently of other people, and take significance. And I honor that. It's a beautiful thing. That's such a beautiful gift that life provides us and spirit provides us. So, again, repetitively seeing numbers, it's definitely a form of synchronic divination, in my opinion. Some people report a feeling that I can relate to, wanting to specifically debunk the feeling, or, repel the energy or, person, and debunk the theory of these signs and synchronicities, because it just gets very weird, very surreal. We want to put a logical kind of a rationalization on a divine manifestation to feel that we're kind of like we're in control. So when, you really hit those milestones within your journey, in your path, and you're starting to see 1111 and all of those, repeating numbers and very, very big signs and synchronicities, it can get overwhelming, because you're like, wait, I am not in control, I thought I was the only creator of this destiny. No, we are co-creators, in my opinion. We have hints, almost like my son would call like Easter eggs in a video game. It's like they're hints and little surprises that are there to get us through, because this, thing called life can sometimes be really shitty, and people like you guys, someone out there, can be mourning a broken heart. So it is tough, and we need these signs and beautiful synchronicities that come forth to us during our journey, in order to encourage us to continue, right? It's hard. Shout out to anyone who has taken their own life, like Anthony Bourdain or Kurt Cobain. There are so many, Robin Williams. It's really sad that somebody got to the point of feeling so hopeless, and that this life was too shitty. So blessings, love, and the light, and just let it in is all I can advise. So number 3. The third common denominator that is experienced between twin flames is the collision and the crash course. The collision and the crash course. So just like a 1950s song lyric, super cheesy, but it feels instantaneously with every fabric of your existence that, your two divine souls collided at some point and truly fell into just one. And the original embodiment of